Vishali ma'am?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Yes, yes.
Sir, you are live now.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Hello, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today we are presenting webinar on personal branding, preparing for the future, organized by Applied Science and Humanities Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. The main agenda of this webinar is to take reputation and career to high visibility. It describes where you stand today and what level of visibility you want to achieve in the future. The future of branding is personalized interactions with consumers based on their particular taste and preferences. To stay competitive, brands must reach out to the consumer with strong value propositions for what consumers need and when they need it. I, Vaishali Nathwani, would like to introduce today's speaker, Andrea Jepka from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. She is personal branding expert, personal development specialist, master life coach, group coach, economist, experienced and enthusiastic sport coach and dance teacher. She is providing consultation for individuals, entrepreneurs, small and medium enterprises, and corporates. She is supporting women entrepreneurs, free workshops, and tutorials. She is also promoting active lifestyle, introducing dance to non dancers, and connecting local dance communities also. It's a privilege to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am. We can start with the session, ma'am.
All right, so welcome everyone. I will just present my window now, and then you will see my presentation that I prepared for you. I know that you are students, so you are just preparing for your life and you are just before very important decisions. And this is the time when personal branding comes into the picture. So we will have around 50 minutes together, and after that, you can ask me anything, whatever you would like to in relation with personal branding. So let's start the presentation. What we will talk about today, we will have a warm-up. Normally I'm doing it interactively, so it's a little bit weird, just I'm speaking now, but let's do another session later when you are also can interact with me. Now it's all me talking to you, so the warm-up is already done. I will talk about my brand with me Asia. We will talk about what is personal branding and why do you need it. We will also talk about the fact why is it necessary and good for you to build it up yourself instead of letting others write it for you. And we will talk about the stage where you are most probably in now and where you can go from there. How can you start building your personal branding? And we will also go into a part where you can explore yourself, and I will explain to you also from the dancer perspective, because I'm also a dancer, why is it important to have this very strong core of yourself so that you are not manipulative and you cannot be manipulated, and you will be easily staying on your own path, and you will avoid the time wasting and money wasting circles that most of the people go through their lives by starting something that is not their own, but pressured by society, pressured by other people around them, instead of doing what you're really good at and what is your talent and gift. So also we will include a little bit about how to build your own story, your personal story, your brand story, and I will give you a few tips at the end about personal branding online and personal branding offline. So hope you like the topics. Let's go and let's start with a quote. So I will read you this quote. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. Remember that. And more importantly, let's discover why. So we will discover why, and you can see this quote is very powerful, because why I mentioned it before, you can create some kind of personal brand yourself, or others will create it for you. Also, it's very interesting that the image that you want to create, we call it brand identity, is not all the time the same as the image like other people see you. So your work as an individual or an entrepreneur, or anyone who is trying to build their personal brand, is to close the gap as close as possible between your brand identity and between your brand image, how people see you. All right, a little bit about myself. So I'm Hungarian. I moved to Kuala Lumpur 4 years ago. And when I moved here, I actually have to restart my life, because I became dependent on my husband. We moved here because of his promotion, and I had to build up something that I lost my independence, because I was independent before financially and also professionally. And now in Malaysia, a different culture, a different timing, a different, far away from my family, in a different world. That was my challenge, to build it up myself alone. And I built up 3 different brands. One of them is Dance With Me Asia, which is a dance community which is promoting active and healthy lifestyle. I have Brand With Me Asia, which we are talking about today, where I am helping individuals and entrepreneurs, as our presenter told it before, to become irresistible on their target market and to thrive as individuals and business owners. And also my third platform is What Women Want Workshops, where I'm helping women and women entrepreneurs, and I'm elevating people. That means that I bring globally all the people together for a good cause, and supporting the awareness building against women problems, or women in difficult situations, right? So what we do, we are raising awareness against discrimination, bullying, violence, and domestic abuse. And my global summit is just coming up soon in October. Check it out at What Women Want Workshops. So these are the 3 brands that I built. And how did I do that? That will come next when we are deep diving into this topic further. All right, so what is personal branding? You see these images on this board. This is part of my brand, right? You see the butterfly because I'm supporting diversity. You see my actually vintage style, which is my expression of connecting generations, because I want to talk to the elderlies and I want to talk to the older generations. But it's also somehow in a modern way put together, so that I'm also having an approach towards the youth, because that's one of my goals to, as I'm talking to you today also, that's also something that I'm working on. What is branding? So branding, especially, it's something that you build to make yourself more visible, right? That means that you have a goal, you have a purpose, you have a profession, or you have just something like an act of kindness or anything that you work on, and you are making it more visible to others, right? You can be someone working on a very good cause, but if you don't show it to other people, no one will know about it. One of my friends told me that, Andrea, you have very good ideas, but the main thing is to bring them out and to show it and tell it to other people. So this is branding basically, right? So when I started to build my brands, I had the images of the brands, I created my identity, my style, and that's how it started. So personal branding is a little bit coming further, right? Personal branding is connected to you and your personality, your values, your checklist, your purpose, your principles, right? When you all have these points together and you are strong enough alone, as in dancing we say you are ready to dance, then after that, it's easier for you to tell your idea to someone else, because you already know what you want and how you want. So this is personal branding, an image that you create, an identity that you create for yourself, and that will be shown to other people, and that's how they will perceive you. So what are these 3 elements on the screen now? Identity, activity, and image. Why did I write it here? So basically, identity is your personality. Whatever you would like to show to the world, what you represent, who you are, what's your style, who you are talking to, this is your identity. Or my image here with this vintage style, with the little butterflies, with an open mouth that I want to speak, right? I want to be heard. I want to be visible, right? This is my identity. The next step, imagine it like a long tunnel, right, is the activity. That means that everything what you do around, the whole work you do online, offline, everything has to be aligned with your identity. So you have your little bubble. This is Andrea, or this is Tarul, this is Jimmy, this is anyone else. And whatever you do here cannot contradict that personal brand. Why? Because if it's contradicting it, you are hitting against your personal brand and your own visibility and your own credibility. So this is with the quote, live what you preach, or do what you are talking about, right? So that's all your activities. It means everything what you post online, every event that you go to, everyone you are collaborating with, they are all have to fit your own checklist. And what's the image? The image is the result of these two. So how people will see you, how people will perceive you upon your activity and upon your shown identity. I hope it's clear until now. So let's go to the next step. Why is personal branding essential? So first of all, you are still like in the school, you are learning, you are educating yourself. So you are still at the stage when you are still young, right? Your age group is still at the point where you still have a lot of time to figure out where you go, what you do, how you want to do, right? But the first step, the first very initial step to do is to accept yourselves, to find out what's your talent, to find out what's your passion, to find out what's your mission and what's your profession. So you have to know yourself. After you know yourself, you have to like this idea that you are presenting to others, because if I wouldn't like what I do, you wouldn't see me like this, so excited to talk to you, right? You also have to trust yourself. You have to practice a lot. You have to go through a lot of challenges, and I went through a lot. So what you see now, my confident self, is coming from this, that I trust my instincts. I trust my skills. And the last step is to want yourself. It's something that you have to consider, right? If you don't want or wouldn't buy your own services, or you cannot be interested in yourself, how would you ask others to do so? That's impossible, right? And this is your side. What I told you on this side of this presentation, it's about you. But let's go to the image side. What's on the other side? It's about them, right? It's about the people, the audience that is seeing you. They also have to know you. So the first step of your personal brand is to show yourself. Whatever you do, whatever you go through, document it, make pictures, save them, save the videos, and then start to introduce yourself. Online and offline, make yourself visible so that they know you. After this, the next step is that they have to like you. That means that your actions will attract a tribe, and that tribe will like what you do, and they will come closer to you. The third step, they have to trust you. So you have to build up credibility. If you ever promise anything to someone, then you have to do it. You have to show up, you have to go back to those people, and you have to deliver, because they have to trust you, and they will be your best advocates in the future if you do so. And the last one, they have to want you. So you get to the stage when people see already who you are, they trust you, and they like you already, then their step is the next one, to come to you, right? So they will want you. This is a very easy understanding how personal brand looks like and how you have to build it yourself. You just have to follow these steps, and actually you are already at the beginning of building your personal brand. The next one is a little explanation further about why do we need personal branding, right? So your personal brand is something that is your personal development. Now, today, it all comes in that you go to this university, that you are learning everything around, that you don't stop learning. For example, now during this period of COVID, a lot of people stopped learning because they believe, oh, there's no school, there's no exam, let's not learn. But it will come back to you, because when the exams will come back, then you will be in trouble. And it's much harder to catch up. So personal development is your responsibility. Your knowledge is yours. No one else will put it into your head. So this is very important. You have to take care about it. And it's part of your personal brand. And the next thing is your future strategy. Where are you going? This is crucial, because you say, I'm still young, I still have time, I still can do it, but time is going very fast. I did 10 years of Circle because I didn't have this knowledge. And I want to give you this knowledge so that you don't do this additional 10 years. Because imagine if I can do this step 10 years ago. I'm 38 today. What if I can do it 28 when I'm 28? Of course, I have more time. Of course, now, today, I would be already in a more powerful position. And I would be more aligned and more on my path. But I did this 10 years of accepting the social pressure and going after what other people wanted me to do and not being clear with my own brand. And that's what matters, because now you are 17 or 18, but later you will be 30. And then it's a different picture, right? So personal development and future strategy, that's your personal brand. That's how you have to look at it. The personal development, it involves all your values, all your passion, how you talk, what you communicate, and what's your knowledge. Everything what is you, your style, how you dress, what are you listening to, what kind of music you listen to, what groups you are joining in, who you are hanging out with, right? Future strategy is more about your perspectives. I want to help associations. I want to volunteer. I want to go to sustainability. I would like to work for the future. I would like to be an astronaut, right? Those are your outlooks, your perspectives, your motivation, your engine. What will drive you to get there? Your health. Again, I'm a dancer. You see me, I'm 38 years old. I still take care of myself. I look like this because I take it seriously, because I believe if I don't have my health, I don't have myself in the future. So how can I reach my goals? So healthy eating and moving and going to work out, it's very important for me, and it should be very important for you. Also your goals, it's all part of your future strategy. All right. So personal branding, it has a lot of different way of showing up in the outside world, right? You can have a celebrity brand. Celebrity brand means you are an actor, you are a football player, a cricket player in India, or you are any kind of person who is very famous from a good thing or from a bad thing that you do. That's your personal brand. Corporate brands, right? Like Apple or any other big corporates that are out there, IBM, all these Kellogg's or anything. Those are corporate brands. Employee branding. Employee branding is for an employee how you would like to go, how you plan to rise within a company towards the things that you would like to do. You have to brand yourself within that place. Employer branding, which means that you are the company who would like to attract the people who are aligned with your values, your mission, right? Most of the times, suddenly, the multinational companies are having the mission, they have their vision and so on, but they forget a very crucial step, which is the HR process, the branding process itself. Because if they already put out this vision and they take those people who are really living and breathing these missions and visions, then they have less problems with employing someone and keeping them for a long term. Because don't forget, the employees are the best advocates for a company. Because if they feel good there, if they feel that they can do what they want to do, they will be advocates of your brand. So you will have your little brand soldiers who are working for you within the company. It's multiplying the brand value of a company. Then self-branding, what I'm doing now, going to a lot of seminars, doing different things, accepting interviews. That's my self-branding, right? Myself, me, Andrea Żabka, I would like to be branded globally. So I'm working on that. Endorsement. Endorsement is coming from someone else. And you can give it to someone else too. And that's also a branding. They will brand you. They will bring your name out there and they will help you to brand yourself. Management, how you manage your personal brand, very, very important. Either you do it yourself or you give it to someone else and they manage it for you. All right, and this is a very exciting thing. I hope I will pronounce the names correctly, so forgive me in advance because I'm not from India. So let's see these pictures, right? So this is supposed to be an activity, but I try to explain it for you on a way. So you see on the left side, you see this guy putting the head down, being very negative, right? Without knowing him, you already know that he is in a difficult situation, he has some problems, you can imagine what he's going through. So his brand right now, his perception is that he's a sad man, shy man, having some problems, right? Let's go further, the guy below him with the arms up, thrown behind him. He is a confident man, already standing in the power position, looking at you like, I know it. That's his brand. That's his approach to show himself as confident. All right? You see the ladies down here. I put a lot of ladies. You can see the first lady in the green dress. It's a vintage style. You know that she is very elegant. You feel the feel of the brand. She is taking care of herself. If we talk about the brand of the dresses, right? It's a line of dresses which are very close to the vintage style with the gloves, with the hat. So we know that they are selling these types of clothes. Let's go to the kimono. Everyone knows where is the kimono from. It's a very well branded dress from Japan. And every single one of person all around the world will associate kimono with Japan. Let's see this lady in this silver outfit. What do you feel? I feel future. I feel technology. I feel very modern. So that's the message of this brand. Then I put a Malaysian lady, right? So Malaysian ladies covered very nicely, very intimidating. It's a different kind of message. Keeping some secrets, keeping themselves private, cultural message behind, right? And then the Chinese ladies, totally different, always elegant, but very happy, very positive image. And let's go to your people who you maybe know. The cricket person, Sachin Tendulkar, I hope I pronounce it nicely. You recognize him, right? Why? Because you see him every single day in the TV playing cricket. Because why? His personality is strong enough to go through. You don't remember each and every cricket player. You remember him because he's well promoted, his brand is very strong. Let's see the other guy next to him, Amitabh Bachchan. You see his glasses, you see his suit, you see his posture. That's his style. That's his brand. And if you look for him, look for these guys already online, you will see most of the pictures, he looks like this. This is his brand. He's representing himself. Or the guy well known about technology and innovation, Elon Musk. You would recognize him no matter what, because he's so well branded that he's visible everywhere. And this is your goal. If you want to build a personal brand, on any levels that you want to do, even if you want to go global, if you just want to be recognized in your own community, this is the step that you have to take. Who I am, what do I wear, what's my style, what do I represent? Very important questions. All right, so today I would like you to just listen to me because we are not interactive, it's not an interactive webinar. So while I'm talking to you, think about it. Who you are today. Are you already the person that is ready to do anything? Are you ready to become an entrepreneur? Are you ready to be an employee? What is your perception about yourself? How do you see yourself? Try to sit back and see yourself from a mirror. See yourself like, all right, I'm Andrea. I'm a dancer. I'm an economist. I'm also an advocate for women. And I'm doing everything under the same umbrella. I don't want people to separate these things because this is me. My message is, this is Andrea Żabka. Andrea Żabka is a dancer. Andrea Żabka loves active and healthy lifestyle because she cares about her health. Andrea Żabka has a branding agency, a branding company. And this is how I feel. This is what I feel. This is my profession, right? So I have my passion in dancing. I have my profession in branding. And I was missing something else. I was missing my passion, right? So I can exactly tell to you who I am, but it was a hard work. And I have to tell you, sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's really takes a lot out of you, but it gives you back much more. Because ever since I found myself, ever since I did my self-inventory and I have my checklist, I know what I will do. I know what I will want. I want to. I know my no's and I know my yeses. I know that there are some people who I will say no to because they are far away from my alignment, far away from my goals, from my brand. So it's very easy for me to say, no, thank you. But I know also I will say yes to most of the people that are aligned with me and they are my tribe because I know what is my tribe. And just allow me to say this. You see me on the runway. I never did a runway before. This picture was taken in 2019 when I was working together with someone from Malaysia. And I went to the Kia runway show. And I went there and I gave myself. You know how models are most of the time. Very serious, right? I was the only person who dared to be myself, going around rock and rolling on the runway. And what happened? People were not looking at the 2-meter high, long-legged, beautiful models next to me. They were looking at me. They were looking and feeling my happiness. They were looking and feeling my vibration that I am myself. And this is your goal. Find out who you are, find out your dream, and go for it. Totally, 100% all the time. I hope you get this message. This is a very important part of my presentation. So how can you start? This is very important questions. I already gave you a little bit of hints what you have to start with. So first of all, you need to find out who you are, do a little bit of self-inventory. That's really important to know who you are. That's why you see here the first step is you and your mission. All right? So that means that what are you interested in? How you would like to serve? How you would like to become fulfilled? Because until you don't find a way to give back to people, I see most of the time people are just jumping from one place to the others because you are not totally fulfilled, because you are not totally involved in society. But once you feel like I am Hemal, right? Hemal is here. So I am Hemal. I am the person who is bringing all these experts here to bring the students new perspectives. I work on this very hard, taking all the time that I have because I see that the future, the next generation needs my support. And that's me. This is me. That's my purpose. And it's very easy to work for me like this, right? Because I do it for a good cause. So I forget about watching my clock like I did when I was working for a multinational company. Every single day I was like, when will be 6 o'clock? I want to go and do my dance classes. I just wished to go and do my other job because I didn't enjoy it, because it was not my path. But I was still doing it because of the social pressure around me. So find out who you are and find your mission, how you can contribute to others. Believe me, that will make you fulfilled. Next to your family and next to your profession, this is a very important thing. What's the next thing after you found out who you are and you have your mission in the world? What makes you forget about yourself, your passion? Come on, we all need something that makes us feel super good. You are from India, Bollywood, dancing is amazing. So if you have time and you wanna switch off, you wanna do something different, I would really go for a Bollywood dance class. Why? Because while I'm dancing, I'm not thinking about everything else around, and that's the only single time when it's me and my spiritual mind. It can be meditation, it can be yoga, it can be anything, right? You have to find your own passion. So the good question here is, what makes you forget about everything around you? What's that one thing? It can be reading, it can be writing a diary, it can be traveling around the world, it can be, I don't know, talking to different kind of people. It can be going out and enjoying yourself and spending time with friends. What is your passion? What makes you get lost and forget about all your struggles? Another very important question. So I let you with this one and think about it. Your profession, right? That's the next thing. So your your profession is something very particular. Here we have to agree that most of the time you don't really know very early what you would like to do. But there is a possibility that your instincts are driving you towards something, right? So your instincts are telling you, I'm very good in painting, I want to be a painter. Or your instincts are telling, I would like to swim, or wow, I'm very good with money, I would like to invest and I would like to buy things and sell them because I'm interacting. I love sales, I love to sell to people. So these are the things you have to think about. What is this thing? What is this initial instinct that is popping up every single time? And you have to be very careful and you have to really listen to yourself. Why? Let me tell you my example. So I was born in Hungary. In Hungary, the family is very strong. The family structure is very strong and everyone wants the best for you. I think this is everywhere the same. I was really lucky because my parents sent me to all types of classes and I could explore what I want to do. Let's say that I was debating, I was doing handicraft, I was doing singing, I was in a choir, I was traveling around, I was doing biking, I was doing a lot of things. I even went to a taekwondo class, but I didn't like it, right? So I chose dancing and I fell in love with dancing. All my life I wanted to dance. And when it came to my studies, right, my parents told me, no, you can't dance. That will not bring you money. Dancing is not something that you can live from. So what did I say? Of course, I said, all right. So in Hungary, we have a system. You can put a lot of universities on a list. And most of the time I was already, I could already go into the first three because of my grades. I did very well in preschool. So I was already in those universities. And I knew that I will become an economist on bank management and stock exchange. And on the very last place on this list, I could put dancing. And I knew that I will never get into that school. I will never be a dancer because doing the economy school will take me years and I will never be able to do this. So my dream went away because I said yes to my parents, yes to society, and yes to all these things. Which is, I understand why they did it. Don't understand me. I'm not telling you that you have to fight against your parents, but have a little conversation with them because today everything is possible. Today, if you build your brand, you can live from being a yoga teacher. You can live from being an artist. If you really do your branding well, today everything is possible. So why I was telling you this? Because I really did a lot on this professional side. I really needed a lot of time to go around and find myself. And because you are still studying, I would say this is a very important step for you and for your parents too. And I'm encouraging open conversations. Because although society is pushing us to be someone, Although I was pushed to become an economist on bank management and stock exchange, I never worked in this field. I never ever worked in this field. I have this beautiful diploma and it's on my shelf and I never did anything with it. What I was doing, I was going from foreign trade to service centers to customer centers at a multinational company for different exhibition centers. I was working as a foreign trade executive, and then I ended up being a team leader, and then I ended up being a coach, and then I ended up being a lean subject matter expert, an ISO certified educational auditor, right? This all happened to me, but it was not me. It was still not me. And next to it, I had a little time for dancing and I kept it with me. And what happened after? When I became stronger, when I was already independent, I went on my own path. I said no. I said no. And I started to live my own life, my personal brand. I was super curious about the world. And I put aside that I'm older than I should be, where I should be, right? Because if it happens 10 years earlier, I have more time. But I put this aside. I accepted this fact. And I started like I'm still young. I started like I'm still just starting up, just like you at this university. And I built up my brand. I even moved 9,000 kilometers away and I had to restart it again. So imagine how much work is in this and how important it is to find your profession early upon your instincts. What is your best talent? What are you good at? Why people are coming to you? What questions they are asking? What is your credibility? What is your knowledge people are connecting you with for, right? So these three things are very important. Find out who you are. Find out how you would like to help others and serve. Find out what is your passion that just gives you a little break and you can breathe. And it drives you inside. And like me, I can make parallel examples for you because I'm using dancing as a synonym, example, or explanation, right? For people to understand branding more and build it in your profession. And the last one is your profession. Find what you are really good at, what you would like to be. Is it really you who would like to be that one, or it's your parents, or it's your society, or it's your friends? And find out what's yours. All right. The self-exploration, how you are starting it, how you find out who you are. The very important steps are all here in front of you. So first of all, find out what's your special talent. What is they call it sometimes X factor, right? Or they call it a calling. What's your calling? What's your essence? For me, it's definitely something about strategizing things, organizing things, dealing with people, my emotional intelligence, my fluidity, my improvisation skills. These are my special talents. These help me every single day, especially today when I'm organizing this big event all around the world with 80 experts in 5 time zones. First time in my life. It's really useful. So find out your special talents. What's your X factor? Next step. Work on your skills. Learning never stops. Although you will have these times when no one will push you, you just sit back and relax. Let me tell you, it's waste of time. Let me tell you, you need to train your own brain because, believe me, I heard it from many times from my parents that they told to my brother, you should learn this, you should learn that, you should go for this. But until my brother didn't decide to learn, he wasn't learning because it's your decision whether you are taking care of your skills and you are upskilling yourself all the time. And I was all the time disciplined. I was even too disciplined, I can say, because my parents have to drag me down sometimes to eat because I was in my books and I had an exam. I was in 2-3 days sitting at one place and learning the whole book and making little notes and everything. So it's your skills, your existing skills, and your new skills that are all your responsibility. You have to understand that it's not your parents' responsibility to push you to be someone. It's your future. So take responsibility for your future. And one advice for this part, stay always curious. Find out what you like to do, find out what you're interested in, and keep that curiosity for all your life, even when you are 70, even when you are 80. Stay curious. What's next? Style and character, right? Why do you have to have a style and your character? Because this will identify you. People will remember you from your style, from your character. Everyone I meet, what do they see? Andrea, you are gracious. Andrea, you are very positive. Andrea, you are smiling all the time. So this is my brand, this is my character and my style. From my dancing background, from my personality, from my positive view about the world and life. That's me. So find out who you are. Are you a loner? You like to be alone and just be in your box and that's you? Are you outgoing? Do you like socializing? You like to talk on a higher tone? You like to talk very silently? Find out your style and you can even create a special style. Like, you know, those influencers? You must know Instagram and TikTok and all these kind of things, right? So they are all having some very specific style. And it doesn't have to be something silly. I say it has to have a meaning. I say you don't go for just overboard and make a fool of yourself. I say it has to have a purpose why you are doing that. It has to have a strategy for your brand. That, wow, I just saw yesterday these women, they are all about 70 and they are dressing up like a fashionista, right? Why? Because that's their brand. They think about it like this. They want to be represented. They don't want to be seen an elderly person who is pushed aside and not being able to do anything. That's their brand. So think about it. How you look, how you talk, how you behave, and how you feel. That will put together your character and your style. That can attract people to your brand. And what's next? We have the industry. So which industry you are interested in? What kind of magazines are you reading? What is the topic that you can read about like for hours and you just forget about the time? So what's your niche? What is the little thing that you are interested in? If you find it out very early, it will help you a lot. Find out your knowledge, your image, everything. This is the 4 very important things to start your self-exploration. Find out your talent, find out your style and your character, find your skills and improve them all the time. Don't stop learning. And find out which industry. Do you want to go for tech? Do you want to go for environmental protection? Do you want to go for manufacturing? And so on. So a little bit very shortly about story building. Story building is part of your brand. Story building will help you to record whatever you do. And then later, when you're getting to that stage of becoming an entrepreneur or an employee, you will be able to describe yourself and your story to others. So what's your story consistent of? So first of all, you have to see your roots, your cultures, your traditions, the family, the country where you are coming from. Explain the background. After you have this background, the roots, then you go for your important events in your life. So what did you do? What happened to you? What were the crucial events that changed your path? What were the things that you really remember still today, right? So first of all, you put together all these things. So what were those things that were very influential on you, right? Let's get an example. For me, I love Walt Disney movies. So ever since Walt Disney started these things, I just watch them because Walt Disney is a very positive person. He's saying a lot of things that I really believe in. And those movies were just relaxing me all the time. So, for example, these things, when I first met Walt Disney, first encountered his creations, I got really creative. It got me really creative. Or when you see Richard Branson, or yeah, for me, he's an idol because he's this kind of Robinson Crusoe doing whatever he wants and he still cares, right? So these kind of events, when you meet people, when you do something special or your family does something special for you. The next point is coming from the same background. So another event is a big change. So something that happened to you in your life, we call it also like pivotal moments. You have to include them in your story. So for me, I had two pivotal moments. One of them when I woke up that I don't want to follow the society and the pressure anymore, and I want to live my life. That was first of my pivots, first of my big change momentums. And the second one when I moved to Asia. These two things changed my life radically. These two things were huge challenges, but I didn't see them as problems. I saw them as opportunities. So after I adapted to the culture, I adapted to the fact that I left my whole family in Hungary, 9,000 kilometers away, and I cannot see them only one time a year. After you accept that, you are open to do everything, whatever you would like to. And then the last part, the end, of course, you are very young, so the whole life is in front of you. That means that you have an endless opportunity in front of you. Imagine it like the ocean, like an open window to the ocean. And whatever you put inside, it's up to you. If you take the opportunity, it will be an amazing journey. If you don't start now, it can be that it will be harder. But there is still an opportunity, so don't worry about it. Just go with it. Go with your feelings and protect your purpose, protect your instincts, right? Very, very important. Know your what you want to do, know your how you want to get there, and know your why. Why are you doing this? Because don't forget, we have one life, right? So let's do it on the best way. Let's do the most of it. So you are around this timeline. Where can you find you? Where can you find yourself? Check out this timeline, right? This is the personal branding timeline, which is starting under 25. So I guess you are all in this, except the presenters. So they are mostly in the other categories. But this is the timeline which is really important. So find out if you are in the first group, under 25, you are in this period when you have a lot of time to personal development. You are going to school, you try a lot of things, you try and fail, and you are going and finding out who you are, what is your value, what is your passion, and you can put on, very important point, a very good base for your health. So what you do when you are young will really influence how you will feel when you are older. Right? So take care of your health also. So under 25, you are now in this circle. So take the most of it. Try to find out your values, your passion as soon as possible. Spend a lot of time with personal development. Talk to role models, talk to people, and that will help you a lot. 25 to 40, you will build your image, you will have your life, you will have your experience, you collect all the things that you do, and then you will figure out how to balance out your work and your life, and you try to find out a good lifestyle. And above 40 is more about taking care of your image, sharing your knowledge with others, and also taking responsibilities, decision a little bit deeper, and taking care of your health again, and doing some routines and simplify your life so that you can still do a lot of things. So keep it in mind. You have a lot of time, but you have to start now before you go over 25. Some personal branding tips, all right? It will be very short. We are almost done. We have 10 more minutes to go. So let's start with the tips. I have only a few tips for you for today. You know, personal branding today, it's very mixed up because people think that personal branding is only online, and it's some people even believe that it's the same like digital branding, and it's exactly the same. So what I do, it's before that, so that people already know what they want before they go online and before they show their brand, right? So the online tips, what I would like to give to you about personal branding is try to engage, try to follow people who you like, find out who you are, who are your, sorry, I'm starting to talk like this, who are your role models, and engage with the posts. Engage with the posts, not just like and then you put a heart, or you put the head, or you put a smiley. Put your opinion, because that's how you get visible. So when you comment, you interact, be smart. Be smartly visible. That means you put your opinion there, you comment and connect with that person. You really read the post, not just scroll down. You read the post and you write your opinion on it. And also, I would suggest, if you ever try to do advertisements, don't buy fake likes. Maybe you have a few thousands of people or 50 or 100 people following you, no problem, but they are real people. If you go for the fake likes, you will not have the same effect. Imagine this global summit with the 80 people from all around the world. I reached it with 2,000 followers on LinkedIn. And some people who are coming to my summit having over 100,000 followers. And I could invite them and they are on board for this summit. So that doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. What you do, how you engage, how you add your opinion, that matters. Other things, no. Also, use online to go offline. What does it mean? That whenever I talk to someone online, if I have the possibility, I want to meet them after, I want to visit them and I want to make a personal impression with them, right? Because then there can be a collaboration in the future. They will remember you more. And another thing that I mentioned earlier, document everything. Whatever you do, maybe it will be useful in the future. So whatever you have, whatever achievements you do, whatever things you participate, whoever you meet, make a picture, make some notes so that you can use it later for your branding and put it in folders so that it's easy to deal with. And the last one is the offline tips, right? So when you are offline, you see all the things what I did in Malaysia. I arrived here 4 years ago and I was no one, right? No one knew me. I was a Hungarian foreigner coming here as a dependent with my husband, and no one knew who is Andrea Zsapka. So what did I do? I took all the opportunities. I was writing already to all the dance school. That was my first stop. And I started to do free classes. I started to organize parties. People started to get to know me. And then they came, okay, Andrea, can you do this? Can you do that? And I said yes. I said yes to Care Runway. I said yes to many, many things. Right? Because if you take the opportunities, you will find out how you can put it into your brand. And I only took opportunities which were aligned with me. So for example, I was on a beauty contest because I wanted to know how people feel there, how people feel backstage. And I met Sharon and Sharon was supporting me and I'm still thankful for her to do this and for MIG. Because I got to know what people are dealing with when they are on the stage. And also, I got to know another perspective, which is so valuable. So I took every single opportunity what came towards me, and they are very strong advocates against bullying. And you see what I do now is very aligned with that. So be yourself. That's my other advice. And well, no matter what, this, what you see, who you see today, this is me. If we meet in person, you will see the same person. I'm not showing off. I'm not doing anything just for the sake of it. I'm here, I'm talking to you as Andrea, because this is my personal brand. It's very important in personal branding. And this way I can connect with more people. I can really make impressions. If I start to act out and start like, yes, I'm Andrea, and I start to make some things which are not me, you will immediately realize that I'm not doing it honestly, right? I have 3 more tips here. So network, very important. Always make a good impression and always nurture your connections. Whoever you meet can be part of your future. So always watch out how you behave with others and what kind of impression you do. It's not in a way that you have to change how you act, but be respectful and be caring about others, because it will come back to you, right? Maybe you also believe in this. Build a community and serve first. These are very strong things going on around the world now, especially because of the COVID situation. Everyone is now more focused on working together, collaborating, and helping those who are in difficult situations. So please do that. Please take care of others. And this will first make you fulfilled. Second, you are giving a good deed to the world. So you are contributing to a better world, which, why would it be bad, right? So these were my offline tips. And I think we arrived almost on time. We still have a little bit, but we arrived to the Q&A. So I hope you liked the presentation. And now it's your time to ask your questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful and full of learning session.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed it. Although it's weird that I don't see the people, but I did it first time like this.
Okay. And there are some questions from our end. First is what we should focus on as the starting point for personal branding.
Yes, so the starting point, I told you, it's always about you, right? So the first thing is do like a scan or a mapping of yourself. That means that you take a piece of paper. I still love to draw, right? So I always take a piece of paper and I say, okay, what does Andrea not like? Always start with the I don't like or I don't want to do this, right? So write down, I don't want to be this, I don't want to do that, I don't like people who are lying, I don't like people treating people like this. And you write down the no's. The no's are always very simple. And after you find your no's, right, you go for the other side. What are you dealing with? Who you are, what are you interested in, what are your skills, what makes you happy, how you see yourself in 10 years, these kind of things. So put the no's and the yeses, put your values and your big no's that you don't want to go there. And that will help you to start everything. Start with yourself, map yourself.
Okay, okay. And the second one is what makes a strong brand?
What makes us
Strong brand.
strong?
What makes a
brand.
strong
All
brand?
right. So the strong brand is coming from commitment. It comes from discipline, and it comes for long time work, long time continuous curiosity and work. So you see these things, which I have 3 brands. I built it up in 4 years. But it was really a hard job. So that means that I had to work on it every single day. Whatever you see online, whatever posts you see, the websites, even creating my websites is my work. So everything what you see out there, it's created by me. So this makes a strong brand because this is my brand, and the words that you see on every single platform, it's my words. It's me talking to the people with my voice, my internal voice, my personal brand. So that makes it stronger. And the identity and the style, of course, because if you remember how you identify, this is very important. I just want to add it, like someone is identified by a hat, right? Someone is identified by, like Amitabh Bachchan. I hope I say it correctly. So he is identified by the glasses. Everyone knows that it's him because he has this very wide glasses. So these kind of things will help you to become a strong brand.
Okay. Great, ma'am. Thank you so much. We have covered all the questions. And thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a really nice
I
experience.
would okay. I would like to thank you, Head of our department, Mr. Hemal Patel, sir, the HOI of our institute, Professor Jatin Vaidya, sir, our academic director, Dr. Mahesh Bhatt, sir, and President of our university, Dr. Devanshu Patel, sir, for motivating and supporting us continuously. Last but not the least, I would like to thank you all who have assembled today to join this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.